Okay.
Yes. So, well, the purpose of the interview is many reasons, right? On the surface, it's like I really do just want to talk to people and get the story, right? I want to talk to people and get information. So this is actually like me asking you questions because I want to know.
Okay.
But two, in the process of learning things myself, a lot of times people will say things that are really good, like sound bites, like, "Oh yeah, like that was an amazing run. I can't believe it. Oh, we were all so excited to see that run, right?" It's like that's a good thing to just stick in the video, right?
Okay. I see.
So
Some reactions or things to color the video.
Yeah, that and just having people explain, like, "Oh man, you wouldn't believe, like, I was so nervous, and then my heart was beating so fast, and I finally did that thing, and I wiped Pal's hit list for the first time ever."
Okay.
Right.
That will not be me, given that I barely run the category. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Still, I am confident you will have something to provide. So
yeah, definitely. So I've came across. So I've searched back all the message surrounding the new route, and actually I was a little bit surprised by how many things I've done. I don't know why I've kept so few memories, but when I read what was written, I've actually did things. So yeah, I guess I'm not that a fraud as much as I thought.
You thought you were a fraud?
Yeah, but because I don't know, I haven't run the category. We'll get to that. I mean, in the actual like new stuff brought into the route, but I've actually done only a few things. Really, I didn't have any groundbreaking ideas like other people who did the route, but I did all the little stuff that are still pretty much necessary in order to like have the run flow as perfectly as possible. But yeah, I've already I've had forgotten all of that, and I came across all the messages yesterday, and I was okay. I actually, yeah, I've actually participated to that much more than I thought initially.
Yeah. And not everybody can do like the big groundbreaking stuff. Sometimes the little things are they're just as important in the long run. Is like just having a bunch of little things. They do add up to be big stuff in the end. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I guess to sort of kick this off, so when did you first start sort of getting into the speedrunning scene with Hollow Knight?
That was right when I finished my casual playthrough, I guess, because so when I played the game pretty late. I've started playing it maybe more than a year after it came out. So I'd say April 2018. So the game completely hooked me. I've probably played about 40 hours in 3 days. I was really free at that time. I had a lot of free time on my hands, and so yeah, I completely fall in love with the game, and so that wasn't my first speed run, because I've speed run how's it called, Transistor and Braid, two indie platformers. So that's funny because Hollow Knight is also kind of an indie. I mean, Transistor is not an indie platformer, but it's an indie game, and Hollow Knight is an indie game. So yeah, I don't know. It's like continuity. So yeah, I was already like pretty into speedrunning. I'm playing myself, and I'm also commentating a lot of French stream actually. So yeah, there are a lot of like for Awesome Games Done Quick or like SGDQ as well. There is actually like international restreams in order for people who don't speak English to actually understand what's going on.
Yeah.
And so I'm actually pretty much. I'm in the now. And I wasn't back then, but now I'm in the staff of the French stream.
Nice.
And yeah, so speedrunning was already something, and so when I fell in love with Hollow Knight. I really wanted to play it because I don't know why, I just liked the way that you could control the character. So I like right away wanted to speedrun it, and so I went to the Discord actually, and yeah, for maybe 1 or 2 weeks I didn't speak at all, and when I really got into it, I started asking questions and everything.
Okay. So you said
And
that
from
was
there,
roughly April 2018, right?
yeah, April or May, I guess.
Okay. So I'm trying to remember where that is in the timeline. Monsta had gotten the first sub 2, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was already sub 2. We can get the history on speedrun.com, I guess. But yeah. So when I started speedrunning the game, I actually got into any percent, no major glitches. And that's actually still my main category up to today, actually. And so trending, I can't remember. I think, yeah, that might have been Monster, who was the World Record Order back then. I really can't remember. But I kind of remember the route because, yeah, that's kind of why I'm here. So I think it was still the infamous route where you would still go to Soul Sanctum in order to get dive, I think. But yeah, who was world record back then?
Let's see here. I'm looking at 2018. Looking at Monster around 1:18:10.
Yeah, that's.
Okay.
I think that's right. Yeah.
All right. And then this is sorry. That's when Scurry kind of shows up, and that's when like a bunch of.
Yeah. So Scurry was already a really good any percent no major glitches runner, and I think he started to maybe he had already runs of trending, but I'm pretty sure that he came back to it in June 2018. And yeah, he almost right away decided to try the sanctumless route as proposed by Fireburn.
Mm-hmm.
And,
okay.
Yeah.
So one of the things that's kind of common that I keep hearing is that like, oh, we did a big reroute and that saved like a bunch of time. I know that happened at least once, sort of in 2017, and that's before you were there. So
yeah,
you probably don't have much to say on that.
No, not really.
But I've heard that at least in more recent times, like 2018, 2019-ish. And you are quoted as one of the people who help reroute stuff. So can you tell me some of the bigger reroutes for True Ending that have happened?
So as I said, when Scurry came back to the category, or arrived to the category, I don't know if he ran before, but in June 2018, he started, as I said, the infamous sanctumless route. I mean, a version of it. What's basically the idea is to skip going to Soul Sanctum, and it skips Soul Master and dive completely. That's actually the same. It's about the same thing which happened in any percent, but it happened way earlier for any percent. It's just the fact that at first people were going for Soul Sanctum in order to get dive, because that's one of the 2 ways to enter Crystal Peak in order to get Crystal Dash, which is like the fastest way to horizontally move, and it also enables some skips which are known as acid skips, because it skips Isthmus Tears, which is the way you normally swim in acid pools.
Right.
And but in 90%, I don't know when it happened, but they realized that if you actually got relics, which are collectibles spread out in the world, that you can sell to Lem, which is who is a relic seeker.
Right.
So if you can do that, you have enough money to buy the lantern, which is the other way into Crystal Peak. And the fact that you could entirely skip Soul Sanctum, because the relics were pretty much on the way of other stuff throughout the early game.
Right.
So that's that made it quite a bit faster. And so trending, that's basically the same. I think to me that's the like the biggest route change, the latest one. The fact that so you were getting relics, but actually, so the story is pretty funny. Scurry was doing attempts on stream, and there was a guy whose name is Dark Demon 35.
Okay.
He's a runner. I can't remember if he was a runner back then, but he's not active anymore. That's for sure. And he wasn't really active back then, but he just had a very simple ID, and he just typed it in the chat. He was like, "So we are skipping Soul Sanctum, but the thing is, we had so many fights in the category that you would still go for the upgrade of the base spell, which is Shade Soul, because it was worth it in the whole scheme of the universe, because at the end you need to kill the Radiance, and the Radiance is really hard.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, yeah, even though I didn't finish that many runs, I've trained the category a lot, and the Radiance is very, very hard to get consistently fast at. So yeah, that would be insane to go for the Radiance without any upgraded spell. The fight would be way too hard. So the route was still getting that Shade Soul, and that Shade Soul is locked behind a key. But we play the category on a very specific patch, which is 1-2-1, and on 1-2-1 there is a very, very unusual glitch. I mean, it wasn't there before, and they patched it later on. So it's a big singularity in patches. But there is a skip which is called the lever skip, and the fact that you can actually activate levers through walls or doors, and so there are two doors which led to Shade Soul. One is locked behind a key, and the other one is actually locked behind a lever, which is right behind the door, but on the other side. That's actually the way out.
Right.
And what was possible was to get a nail hearts, which is a special techniques for the nail, which is your primary weapon. And by using that, you could actually have enough range to activate the lever through the door. So what Scurry was doing in his attempts was to do a detour to get the nail heart, the nail art called //, and he would then go to Soul Sanctum, because the Shade Soul is at the beginning of Soul Sanctum, so you would only go at the beginning and then come back.
Right.
So you would get that nail art and then use it to perform a lever skip in order to get to Shade Soul with without the key. And the guy he just said, but why do we have to? I mean, we already gather a lot of relics in order to get to Crystal Peak. So why don't you get more relics in order to actually also get the key? Because I mean, if you have relics on the way, which are enough to buy the lantern, maybe you have enough relic to also buy the key.
Right.
And that's the base idea of the second last big reroute. The fact that we skip // and just get more relics in order to get the key. But then the technicalities are, it's not that simple, because the key is locked behind another key. So I don't know if you want to get too much into detail yet. I can explain that if you want.
That's not, well, yeah, go ahead and explain it to me.
So the key which locks CJitsall is called the elegant key, and it is sold by Sly in Dartmouth, the very first village you encounter in the game. But the thing is, he doesn't sell it right away. You need to get him another key, which is called the shopkeeper's key, which gives him access to his I don't know the name in English, but no, like his stocks. He has other
other wares
locked behind something, and so when you give him the key, he actually sells more stuff, and among that additional stuff, you find this key. So it made the route way less linear than what it used to be. I mean, or maybe it looked less like any percent. So yeah.
Okay, that's fair. But okay, so you have to go get this shopkeeper's key, right?
Yeah, you have to get it, and it is in Crystal Peak, which means so you have to farm relics pretty early on, then go to Lem in order to buy the lantern, get to Crystal Peak in order to get Crystal Dash and to get the shopkeeper's key. Then you come back to Sly. It's pretty instantaneous because we use what is called a 7-quit, which is just when you come back to the main screen and then reselect your save file, you spawn back at the latest bench you went. So what we do is just we bench right next to Sly. We do all of our stuff in Crystal Peak, and then we 7-quit. So we have everything we got in Crystal Peak, but we just reappear next to Sly. So that's not very complicated once you get everything you need in Crystal Peak.
Gotcha.
So yeah, you had to do that. Then you get back to Sly. You give him his shopkeeper's key. He gives you the elegant key. So you had also to farm relics early on in order to get that key, and then finally you get to Soul Sanctum. I mean, to the beginning of Soul Sanctum, you will open the door. And what is different with the lava skip is that you had to fight a boss. So this had to be also taken into account, and then you would just continue with the route as it used to be.
Okay, so the whole idea of getting is this very long way around having to fight a boss.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not. Yeah, the like latest reroute where you would get a CJitsall elegant key. It's actually not to skip a boss. Actually, you fight one more boss than the previous route. But yeah, it's just that the route was counterintuitive in the first place. I mean, that's probably why it wasn't, already used back when we rerouted it. It's really counterintuitive. It's kind of, we had to make sure, actually, that it was faster.
Okay. Did it actually end up saving any time, or was it just a bad idea?
Yeah, that's... You need to just time everything, and that's a lot of stuff I did actually.
Okay, so you worked on that in particular?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Dark Demon, after saying that specific phrase on in Scar's chat, which was like, could we just get skip -- and get elegant key? He came to the Discord. And he proposed a draft of the new route, which would skip the -- and I used that and tried to do improvements. It was pretty rough. I mean, that's where the fact that he wasn't actually a runner of the game came into account, because there were some stuff that weren't really logical in the route he made. So that's where I started change stuff, trying to do more logical stuff, and also time all the little details that you know, if you run, that's the kind of thing you think about during the run, and you say, is it really faster? I don't know, I should time it later, and you never do it. So that's what I've done, actually.
Okay.
I've done all that so that people don't have to.
Okay. Hey,
I mean,
that's a good thing. Because yeah, there's a lot of times where people are like, I wonder if that's faster, and then they never test it, and then no one ever knows, and so that never really works out.
Yeah, so a lot of stuff was actually found to be not faster.
Gotcha. We had kind of a similar scenario, and so I run Pokemon Snap, right? That's one of the speed games that I play.
Okay.
And I think it was 2018. I said 2018 is the year of hard data. I am tired of everyone saying, "Oh, this saves about 20 seconds," right? It's like, no, exactly how much time does it save? Why does it save time? Like, what? Like, give me name. Like, give me like concrete information. I am tired of having these sort of like guesses. Like, no, we're gonna find out. And yeah, so I went through like the whole year, not like constantly, but just like whenever I had free time, I would like, okay, I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna figure out why we save time here, why we save time there, and it's good. It's good to have solid numbers and have like actual data.
Yeah, we still have that in Hollow Knight. Like, we have like big difference in routes. You have beginner friendly routes and like more advanced routes. And when people ask how faster is it, most of the time people answer with like we always answer with the same number. We say it's about 40 seconds, but I mean, nobody actually really timed it, and people probably timed it, but nobody like kept the numbers. That's kind of related, but I actually found some timing sheets that I've done for the when we did the reroute. So I'm kind of sad that I didn't get any video about that, because I mean, so now it's just like a notepad file with like the numbers. I say, okay, the route with this is 15 seconds, 96, and then the other thing is like 17, and I don't know exactly what is the timing method, from where to where did I time it.
Wow.
So I mean, I would be inclined to trust my old self, but yeah, I'm just sad that I didn't get to do a little bit more. I don't know how to say that, but
more
just,
detailed note taking.
Yeah, detail, easier to pass to pass on, or to come back to, actually.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's kind of the same thing. I don't know if you write code or anything like that.
Yeah.
I've done coding stuff. So yeah, it's like the idea of like having a code that has like comments where it's like, this section, this function does this thing does this. It's like, oh yeah, and now I don't have to worry about it anymore. I can go back and I can pass this off to somebody else and they know how it works, or I can, come back to it years later and I know how it works. It's definitely a smart thing. So, all right. Okay. So then, so you do that. Is there another reroute, or is it just people go back to doing the lever skip method? Because that's the current method, right? With lever skip.
But no, it's not actually. The one we use doesn't have the lever skip to CJitsall, but there is a lever skip to the Watcher Knights. This one is still in the route, actually.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I think, yeah, that's the latest reroute for this route. But then there were two routes, so that was. I mean, Monster. You already interviewed Monster.
Correct.
Yeah, so he might have told you about the Shriek route.
Yes.
Yeah. So this, I mean, it's not really now known as the Sanctumless route, because every sensible route would skip Sanctum, but it's known as the CJitsall route. So yeah, this route was, I mean, the CJitsall route, yeah, it was pretty much done by the yeah, by the time I've in like 2 or 3 weeks. I mean the gist of it at least.
Okay.
And but then there were like really small stuff which changed, like, you shouldn't dreamgate from there, you should dreamgate from there, and then 7 quick. It was really minor things. And
Yeah.
also obviously there were like plenty of new little optimizations and movement stuff which were found. But this is this didn't change actually the reroute.
Okay. Can you maybe? I'm trying to think. I don't know if I want you to go too far into the streak route, because we had Monster and we've had Visuals talk about the streak route, but
they probably told you that was like hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never tried it, but so.
Do you want to give me just a very, very sort of brief overview of what the streak route is?
It's the route that someone would make if they would really hate themselves, I think.
Okay.
No, but really, I've never even bothered trying to do it. I didn't like participate to it at all. Because I was busy at that time, I think, and also because I think Almost 30 is a very good router, and he made a pretty good job, simply put. And but I remember trying to do one of the fights in this route, which is the infamous No Eyes with a Shriek, and really I spent maybe half an hour on that, and then I knew that I would never run it.
That bad, huh?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think it's the only bad place of the whole route, because Radiance is actually way nicer with a Shriek. But yeah, the fight with the No Eyes is just so RNG that it's too. I think Monster said it's too nerve-wracking to run. Like you just, I mean, when you have a good pace and you just get bad RNG, it's so hard. So I think that's what he said. That's why he came back then to CJitsall route.
I gotcha. Yeah, I think Monster said that after the 1 cycle Umu fight was found.
Oh yeah,
it was like right. It's like guaranteed. Like, yeah, this is no longer faster.
Yeah, that's true. It was faster for a long time. I mean, it's not that it was faster. We didn't. It was really hard to time, so I don't think nobody ever tried to time it accurately. But we thought it was about 20 seconds faster. Don't quote me on that, though. I might be wrong. But yeah, the fact that now we have CJitsall 1 cycle, yeah, it's not. I've never thought about that, but yeah, that makes sense. But
okay.
But at the time, Monster, Scurry, and Visual were running it. Monster with the Shriek route, and Visual and Scurry with the CJitsall route. We had the community sum of best, and actually, you couldn't mix the two. And Monster alone had a sum of best, which was even with Scurry and Visuals combined one. So that at that time we were pretty sure that it was theoretically faster.
I gotcha. Okay. All right. So you mentioned Scurry and Visuals. So they have like kind of like a rivalry almost, like some going back and forth a lot in that time frame. Were you paying attention to that sort of the back and forth between those guys?
I mean, I knew about it. I mean, I think at that time I was rather watching Scurry than Visual. I think it was a problem of time zones. Visuals. I mean, Scurry was starting his stream earlier, I think.
I gotcha.
About that. Yeah, the rivalry, I guess, it's the kind of rivalry which is not really one. It's just that they both started running the game around the same time, and in that way, you have that. Almost everybody has that, I think, when they start a speedrun. I mean, there are plenty of other all-night runners that I would consider to be like that. Well, I mean, I would consider that I have the same dynamic with them, but I think this one is a little bit different because were actually like world record holders on the category, going back and forth. Obviously I knew about it. It's a rivalry only in terms of it's like Federer and Nadal, it's tennis. I keep doing tennis examples, but that's they don't hate each other. It's not. I mean, I assume they don't, but
no,
I know they don't.
Yeah, no, talking to them, they definitely have respect for each other, and they're friends.
Oh yeah, but they appreciate each other, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of nuts, but it's good. It's good to have that. Okay. Let's see here. You had mentioned homeopathy, right?
Yeah.
What kind of route stuff did he do? Because I think was he also a runner at some point? I know I'm thinking of Trinomi as one of the people, but wasn't homeopathy in that list somewhere?
Amatheti did the trick route, and he did a few runs with a trick route, I think.
No,
he never grinded the category that much, but I remember him like proof testing his route, and with that route he had a very good PB, despite it being actually just to test the route and not actual grinding. So yeah, Amatheti he's really good at the game. He didn't grind trimming that much, I think. But yeah, I think he's kind of contemporary to Visuals and Scare. He arrived around the same time. I would guess. I mean, I can verify it pretty quickly, so I'll make sure I'm not saying dumb stuff. I'm just gonna check when was Amatheti oldest message on the Discord.
Okay.
So he asked for his speedrunner rank on the 23rd of January in 2018.
Okay. Real quick, can you reset your mic thing again? Because you're getting the pop again.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's all good. Oh, hush.
It should be better.
Okay, cool. So you said
Yeah.
January 2018.
January 2018. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know I've heard his name. I just try to remember what context it was.
He's the one behind Trick Route, I would guess.
Yeah. But I know I've heard his name in a different context, and it was, I think, around this time in 2018. So I'll go back and I have some notes. I'll have to go back and look at those. Is he still an active runner?
Yeah, definitely. He's currently trying to go back to any percent no major glitches, and he's like questioning his life choices because he keeps having like very good runs, but when you arrive at the top 5, it's very, very hard to have the whole run RNG be in your favor. So
that's fair.
It's possible to play really good and still like not PB. So that's really hard. But yeah, he is still a big runner, and actually he's very invested in the randomizer scene because now the randomizer of Hollow Knight is at its 3rd version, I guess, and so he actually completely took in charge the randomizer after the 2nd version, and now it's like not on the same level as before. It's like way better now. So he really put a lot of work into recording everything, and so yeah, he's a very important person when it comes to randomizer and modding in general, I would guess.
All right, cool deal. I will keep that in mind. I might reach out to him to talk to him about it, because
that's
trying to get
a great idea, I think.
A good rounded perspective here.
Yeah, and he will probably be the best person to talk about the trick route.
Okay. All right. I guess before we wrap up here, you had mentioned that you found more things than you thought you did. Can you maybe, if you'd like, you don't have to if you want to, tell me some of the things that you think are the more important things that you found, right? You found, well, so I know that sounds silly, but
no, it's not that it sounds silly. It's just that it wouldn't be very telling. I mean, for someone, I mean, when I read what I found, I didn't even understand exactly what I found. So it's, I think it would be a little bit too
obscure,
not in
maybe.
depth, but yeah, obscure. It's really just a route change which made the whole route flow better. It's really as simple as that. It's to prevent to go twice to a place.
Okay.
Basically.
And was that specifically with that elegant key route?
Yeah. It's because so let me think. Why did we have? Oh yeah, it's because we needed a new relic, which is behind 300 essence, I think. And so you need to kill Zero, which is one of the Dream Warriors, which is like right next to the way to go to City of Tears. So you need to kill it, and then come back to the Seer at one point. And so the route in its rough state had to go to Zero. Then you would 7 quit, go to the Seer, get the King's Idol, and then go back right next to Zero in order to get to City of Tears. And what I did was just to make sure that you killed Zero, and then you go back right away to City of Tears when you unlock a fast travel station. And then when you 7 quit, you can just like get to the fast travel station instead of doing going back to Zero's room and going to King Station. That's just it. So I basically like saved I don't know,
an extra trip,
10 seconds. Yeah, okay. It's just an extra 2 rooms. Okay, so yeah, it's not that big of a deal. It's just that it's all the very small stuff that I forgot. The fact that I timed a lot of stuff in order to make sure that what we were doing was optimal. And yeah, that's the thing I kind of forgot, and I was happy to actually like get back to it and discover that I did stuff.
There you go. Would you say that you helped work on the current route that the world record has right now?
Oh yeah, I think it's the exact same route. I gotta admit, I've never watched the latest trending world record. I'm not a huge. I mean, I've seen so many streams. I know what the route is, so I kind of like stopped watching.
I got
streams.
you.
That's so yeah, but I'm almost certain that visuals or the shades or routes almost entirely as it was designed in 2018.
Okay, cool deal. All right, I think that's all the questions I have for you. Okay.
That's cool.
All right, Muri. Well, I appreciate you talking to us. Let me go ahead and end this recording here then.
Thank you for having me, I guess.
No, my pleasure.
And that was a